Sorry, we suck.
We're going to start this over. We were on mute, but now we're live. All right. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for joining in tonight to the live stream as a tribute to John Prine. I know a lot of us are itching for community right now, and we miss you dearly, and seeing your faces at shows and in the record shop on a daily basis has been the hardest thing to deal with throughout this process for us at the Poorhouse. John Prine's passing has hit a lot of us real hard. He's been such an inspiration for myself, so many local musicians, and others in the community. But at the same time, I'm extremely glad we're able to gather here tonight. Even though we're apart, music is still bringing us together, which is a beautiful thing, and the power of music will help get us through this. I just wanted to hit a couple notes before we get started. If you're enjoying a few drinks at home, please consider donating what you would pay for that drink at a music venue to the Raleigh Music Venue Employee Fund. The link for it is down here on the screen. It's at Venmo at Raleigh-downtown-music venues. We're getting it up. There it is, right here. So if you're having a couple drinks at home, please consider donating what you'd pay for those drinks at a venue to the fund. This money is being distributed between the 43 employees that make all the shows happen at the Poorhouse, at King's, at Slim's, at the Lincoln Theater, and at the Wicked Witch. These are the folks that make all the shows happen behind the scenes, and we're doing everything we can to help make sure that they're getting through this crisis the best that they can. To make things even better, tonight, our friends at Live Life Live, which is a startup app geared towards generating funds for musicians through the form of tips at performances, they've graciously offered to donate up to $2,000 in a matching format to go to the fund. So anything that you donate tonight is going to be matched 100% up to $2,000. So if you're able to, please contribute. And without further ado, we're going to get the night started. I'm going to kick it over to our friend David Menconi to say a few words to get the evening started.
Thanks, Adam. And prepared a few remarks about John Prine. When I was a kid growing up in San Antonio, Texas in the 1970s, my family used to take a lot of trips to Colorado. And we had a soundtrack for the experience, an 8-track tape of John Denver's album, Rocky Mountain High. We'd always have the title track queued up to play when crossing the border from New Mexico. But another song a few tracks later on that album was the one that caught my ear. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. This rolls right off the tongue. Well into my teenage years, I thought Paradise was a John Denver song. But no, it was written by John Prine. And that turned out to be a fitting introduction to the catalog of a songwriter whose career has largely been defined by what other people did with his songs after he put them out into the world. Prine was 73 years old when he passed from COVID-19 last week, and yet in many ways it felt like he was just getting started. His most recent album marked the first time he ever made the top 10 of the charts himself, and he won a Lifetime Achievement Grammy back in January. And his songs, of course, will live forever, standing alongside any that have ever been written. They've been covered by everybody from Bonnie Raitt to Manfred Mann's Earth Band. Tonight, we're going to hear a lot of great tributes to John Prine's music by some of the best singers and players in North Carolina. First, however, we're going to have a word from someone who literally wrote the book on Prine, Greensboro writer Eddie Huffman, author of the very fine 2015 Prine biography, In Spite of Himself. Enjoy the evening, y'all, and take it away, Eddie.
Thanks, David. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Adam, as well. Thanks for everybody at the Poorhouse and all the musicians who are giving your time tonight. I really appreciate it. More talking before we get to the music. Here's something I wrote last week in honor of Prine. One friend had a Spanish teacher in high school who sang and played John Prine songs on her guitar after class. Another learned about Prine as an exchange student in Canada when a guy sang Hello in There between slugs from a whiskey bottle. One sang Paradise a cappella with his buddies as they backpacked across Guatemala. COVID-19 killed John Prine, but his death Tuesday pushed pandemic news and almost everything else off my social media feeds. Decades after Prine's music spread turntable to turntable, guitarist to guitarist, the people who loved him honored him with fond memories and favorite songs. Keenly observed character sketches like Angel from Montgomery and The Oldest Baby in the World. Raucous novelty tunes like Dear Abby and The Bottomless Lake, songs of hard-won romance like Unlonely and Boundless Love, meditations on death that are somber like Sam Stone and serene like When I Get to Heaven. 8 years ago, when I started researching the book that would become John Prine in spite of himself, the protagonist seemed well past his prime. He was a beloved cult figure meandering to the finish line after years of hard living, pushing through divorces and bouts with cancer. He toured regularly, but his years as a vital songwriter seemed far behind him. Or so I thought. Prine got a start at the dawn of the 1970s when the music business was a star-making colossus overflowing with cash. That business model did little for Prine, though. His songs captured the small but telling details of life, from the chain-smoked Camel cigarettes of Grandpa Was a Carpenter to the melting snowmen and All the Best. Appropriately, his music rippled out into the world via similar moments in the lives of ordinary people, in dorm rooms and coffee houses, on porches and beaches. So Prine left the major labels behind, started his own little record company, and kept right on doing what he had always done. He had his biggest hit album till that time in 1991 at the unlikely age of 45, thanks in part to contributions from Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty. But the real stars of the missing years were the brilliant songs inspired by his second divorce and new romance with Fiona Whalen, who had become the mother of his sons, his third wife, and his final manager. He ended the millennium with a bang, a delightful album of duets in spite of ourselves that inspired the title of my book. He went through his first bout with cancer while making that album. After he quit smoking and had part of his neck cut out, he emerged with a clean bill of health and a voice even more ragged than before. Prine released a second album of charming duets in 2016 called For Better or Worse. Otherwise, he mostly marked time and toured, delighting audiences with his classic songs and bone-dry sense of humor. His family did the world a huge favor when they ordered him to write material for a new album. He checked into a hotel in downtown Nashville and checked out a week later with the songs that would make up 2018's The Tree of Forgiveness. If the success of the missing years when Prine was 45 seemed implausible, the success of The Tree of Forgiveness at 71 seemed inconceivable. But the record put Prine in the top 10 of the Billboard album chart for the first time in his career, and he began an extended victory lap that included launching his own festival in the Dominican Republic, signing new artists to Oh Boy Records for the first time in years, and winning a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Daffodils and wisteria have exploded across my part of North Carolina recently, pandemic or no pandemic. Since 1988, their colors have signaled the approach of Merlefest. Organizers announced in December that Prine would make his fourth appearance in 2020, but COVID-19 canceled Merlefest and everything else in sight before it started cutting down beloved musicians. The first red flag for Prine went up 3 weeks ago when Fiona Whalen Prine announced that she had coronavirus. By March 28th, her husband had pneumonia in both lungs and a ventilator to help him breathe. Fiona recovered. John did not. He died at Vanderbilt Medical Center on Tuesday, April 7th. He was 73. Nashville will undoubtedly throw a hell of a party in Prine's honor when the pandemic that took him from us finally subsides. In the meantime, tributes have poured in from people in self-isolation around the world. Like Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash before them, a generation of younger artists loves Prine's music, including Sturgill Simpson, Casey Musgraves, Jason Isbell, and Brandi Carlile. Last night, my partner and research assistant, Gwen Gosney Erickson, said there seemed to be no middle ground with Prine. People had either never heard of him or loved him. Both of our Facebook feeds have been flooded with tributes. There are dozens of good reasons for that, songs and performances that boil life down to its essentials. Prine may have used up all 9 of his lives at long last, but his music will live as long as people strum guitars and sing about love, loss, and all the funny little things that make us human. Thanks again, everybody, and stay tuned for Craig Thompson.
Hold on just a minute. Does that fix it? Remove. Got you. Am I good? Tell me if I'm good. All right. Okay. I don't know what you heard, but anyway, I'm out in my shed. Got this shed in my backyard, and I can play some music in it, and the acoustics are okay. So I don't know how this is going to turn out, but anyway, I play with old habits, and we've been playing John Prine for years, and some good friends of mine, Bobby Houck and Hank Futch of the Blue Dogs down in Charleston, turned me on to John Prine years ago. And Chad Johnson and Lynn Peterson and myself have been playing his songs for years. This first tune, it's just one of the best John Prine songs he ever wrote, in my opinion. They're all great. I don't think you can have a favorite one, actually. So anyway, this is one of my favorites. This goes out to my buddy Junebug. All you people from Raleigh know Junebug. He likes this one. It's called Souvenirs. Oh, the snow water. Christmas days are coming and gone. Broken toys and faded colors are all that's left laying around. And I hear graveyards and old pawn shops, for they always bring me tears. I can't forgive where they robbed me of my childhood souvenirs. Memories that can't be bought, that can't be won at carnivals for free. Well, it took me years to get those souvenirs, and I don't know how they slipped away from me. Broken hearts and dirty windows make life difficult to see. That's why last night and this morning always look the same to me. And I ain't reading old love letters, for they always bring me tears. I can't forgive where they robbed me of my sweetheart's souvenirs. Memories that can't be bought, that can't be won at carnivals for free. Well, it took me years to get those souvenirs, and I don't know how to slip away from me. All right, a couple little chords there messed up, but if I'm trying to read the comments as I go here, it's just crazy. Never done anything like this before, so I will be the guinea pig. If it sounds funny, sorry about that. We'll figure it out as the night goes on. This next tune is off of the album that he came out with when it was under his own label, The Missing Years, and this is also one of my favorite John Prine songs. It is about a divorce, but it's a great tune, and I'm gonna start this one off the way he started it on the Texas Connection. He said, and this just goes out to his humor, and one of the reasons so many people love him. He said, "Got a divorce for Christmas, so I went out and bought a train set and nailed it to the dining room table just because I could. I guess I wish you all the best." I wish you love and happiness. I guess I wish you all the best. I wish you don't do like I do. Never fall in love with someone like you. 'Cause if you fail just like I did, you probably walk around the block like a little kid. Kids don't know, they can only guess how hard it is to wish you happiness. I guess love is like a Christmas card. Decorate a tree, throw it in the yard, and it decays and dies. And the snowmen melt. Well, I once knew love. I knew how love felt. I knew love. Love knew me. And when I walk, love walked with me. And I got no hate. And I got no. Well, I got so much love that I cannot hide. Yeah, I got so much love that I cannot hide. Say you drive a Chevy, say you drive a Ford, you say you drive around the town or you just get bored, and then you change your mind for something else to do. Well, your heart gets bored with your mind and it changes you. It's a doggone shame, it's an awful mess. I wish you love, I wish you happiness. I wish you love, I wish you happiness. I guess I wish you all the best. All the best, baby. I got one more. And this is another one of my favorite tunes. And I think if I played like 100 John Prine songs, I'd say they were my favorite song because they're all incredible. And just to note, y'all behind me who have never done this before, maybe you have, reading the comments while you're playing is like when somebody comes up to you at a show and starts talking to you mid-song. It's hilarious. And you forget the words. I love it. This is really cool. Thank you again, Adam, and everybody at the Poorhouse for doing this. This last tune right here is one that Chadwick Dale Johnson, Lynn Peterson, Evans Nicholson, Mark Simonson, and myself have played for many years. And it's just a good one to end on, in my opinion, for my set, for my 3-song set. Goes a little something like this. It's the way that his world goes round. Actually, let me start that over. Forgot to say something. John Prine. Okay, so we've been playing Prine for years. We've been playing private parties, venues. I don't care where we play, weddings. There is always 1 or 2 people that come up to us at a show and say thank you for playing that John Prine song. So that just goes to show you the connection that he had and has with people all over the world. So anyway, we'll start this one over. Here we go. I know a guy that's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella, kinda confused. He got muscles in his head, dirt man used. Things they always have of this town. Starts drinking, never gets a big red nose. Beats his old lady with a rubber hose, and it takes her out to dinner, buys her new clothes. That's the way the world goes around. That's the way the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. Heaven is water, you think you're gonna drown. That's the way the world goes round. Well, I was sitting in the bathtub counting toes when the radiator broke. Water all froze, I got stuck in the ice without my clothes. Naked as the eye of a clown. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak when the sun come through the window. I saw it broke and then I stood up and laughed. Thought it was a joke, that's the way the world goes round. That's the way the world goes round. You're up one day, next you down. It's a half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. That's the way the world goes round. This goes out to the lady. Y'all know John Prine. You know what I'm talking about. Thought this song was about a happy enchilada. That's the way the world goes round. You're up one day, unless you're down. It's a happy enchilada, and you're gonna drown. That's the way the world goes round. That's the way the world goes round. That's the way the world goes around. Thank you, John Prine. Thank you, Adam and the Poorhouse, for doing this. Next up, baby. We appreciate it. See ya.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Hope y'all are doing good this evening. My name's Jonathan Parker, and I'm really, really proud to be a part of this tribute. One of my favorite songwriters and artists, period, Mr. John Prine. My band and I, we've always been very partial to his songs, and thank you, Mr. Prine, for your art. I'm going to start with one of my favorite songs. I can't believe nobody had it whenever I got on this roster. I got lucky. Anyway, this is A Legal Smile. I woke up this morning, things were looking bad. Seemed like total silence was the only friend I had. Old oatmeal tried to stare me down and won. It was 12 o'clock before I realized I was having no fun. But fortunately, I have the key to escape reality. And you may see me tonight with an illegal smile. It don't cost very much, but it lasts a long while. Won't you please tell the man I didn't kill anyone, though I'm just trying to have me some fun. Last time I checked my bankroll, it was getting thin. Sometimes it seems like my pocket is the only place I've been. I chased a rainbow down a one-way street, dead end, and all my friends turned out to be insurance salesmen. But fortunately, I have the key to reality. And you may see me tonight with an illegal smile. It don't cost very much, but it lasts a long while. Won't you please tell the man I didn't kill anyone, though I'm just trying to have me some fun. Well done, hot dog bun, your sister's a nun. All right. Illegal Smile, one of my favorites. God bless John Prine. Here's another, this is a song off the Bruised Orange record. If you don't want my love, if you don't want my love, if you don't want my love, I know who I will give it to. If you don't want my love, if you don't want my love, if you don't want my love, anymore. If you don't want the thrill, if you don't want the thrill, if you don't want the thrill, I know who, I know who will. If you don't want my love, if you don't want my love, if you don't want my If that's the way that the world goes round, yeah, well, that's the way and it all goes down. When you want me, I want to be around. If you don't want my love, if you don't want my love, if you don't want my love, anymore. If that's the way that the world goes round, yeah, that's the way that it all goes down. When you want me, I want to be around. If you don't want my love, if you don't want my love, if you don't want my love, anymore. All right. Hey, I want to say thanks to Adam and all the guys at the poorhouse, y'all, for including me and for putting this thing on. It's very cool what y'all are doing. Anybody that hadn't been to the poorhouse since they opened their record store, y'all need to visit them. It's really cool. They're shipping records, I believe, so check them out online. I got one more song, and I'm going to get out of here. We got a lot of good artists coming up, great artists coming up tonight. So y'all hang out. Thank you so much. And we'll see you down the road. This is an up-tempo song, another one off the Bruised Orange record. There she goes. Hey, there she goes. I thought she'd never leave, heaven knows. You know, it sure gives me the creeps, you know, when I love that woman till power and height. We both got jive and face screwed up, heads up tight, came to blow. Hey, 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 there she goes. Hey, there she goes. Just walking down the street, well, I suppose. The next feller that she meets, she have her head examined by X-ray machine so he can see all them pictures that I already seen, so he knows. Hey, 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 there she goes. Must be something somewhere that makes me want to hurt myself inside. Well, we were a regular Dr. Jack, but together we were Mr. and Mrs. Hyde. What rough, rough ride off. Hey, there she goes. She's walking out on me with all her clothes, looking fine as she can be. When seen down at the courthouse, I was sober as a judge. I tried to talk things over, but the grudge just wouldn't budge. Adios. Hey, 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 there she goes. Well, there must be something somewhere that makes me want to hurt myself inside. Well, we ain't a regular Dr. Dre call, but rough, rough ride. Hey, there she goes. I thought she'd never leave, but heaven knows. Sure gives me the creeps when I look back home. Power of hot, both got jive and face screwed up. Heads up tight and can't blow. Hey, 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 there she goes. There she goes. There she goes. There she goes. God bless y'all. Y'all stay safe.
Hey everybody! Wow, I'm here. It's exciting. Welcome to my house. Hey everybody, I would like to give a big shout out to Adam and everyone at the Poorhouse. And you can see the logo. Is it there? It's over there. For these guys for putting it on. And thank you all for being here to share the celebration that is John Prine's life. I always feel like John Prine's songs are not for the faint of heart, but for those with a lot of life experience. I really think they're grown-up songs, but I also think that, like, listening to them when I was younger as a kid, it's interesting what comes back to you later in life. So, I think I said it before, but I always feel like John Prine's songs are the warm blanket that I really needed when you're lonely and all by yourself. So yeah, first song I'm going to sing is a song not by John Prine, but it's by Blaze Foley. But it's a song that I first heard John Prine sing, and to me, it's still the iconic version of it. This one's Clay Pigeons. I'm going down to the Greyhound station, gonna buy a ticket to ride. I'm gonna find that lady, 2 or 3 kids, and sit down by her side. I'm gonna ride till the sun comes up and down around me about 2 or 3 times, smoking cigarettes in the last seat, hide my sorrow from the people I meet, and get along with it all. Go down where the people say oh, sing a song with a friend, change the shape that I'm in, get back in the game and start playing again. Well, I like to stay, but I might have to go and start over again. I might go back down to Texas, go somewhere that I've never been, get get up in the morning and go out at night so I don't have to go home. Get used to being alone. Sing the words to this song and start singing again. I'm tired of running around looking for answers, questions that I already know. I could build me a castle of memories just to have somewhere to go. Count the days and the nights that it takes to get back in the saddle again. Feed the pigeons some clay, turn the night into day, and start talking again when I know what to say. I'm going down to the Greyhound station. I'm gonna buy a ticket to ride. I'm gonna find that lady with 2 or 3 kids and sit down by her side. I'm gonna ride till the sun comes up and down around me about 2 or 3 times. Smoking cigarettes in the last seat, hide my sorrow from the people and me, and get along with it all. Go down where the people say, oh, feed the pigeons some clay, turn the night into day, and start talking again when I know what to say. Whew, it's hard not to cry. Every time I've sang a John Prine song, it's always been in the company of people I love. So I've been really, really blessed and excited about all that. I run a couple jams here in Durham, and we always end up picking John Prine songs as a lot of our sing-along songs. Whenever we're at the end, we're like, what do we sing that everybody knows? And it means something to everybody, and it's always a John Prine song. So speaking of jams, I heard this one first via one of my friends named Cindy at a jam in Winston-Salem. Whew. You come home late and you come home early. You come home big when you're feeling small. You come home straight and you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all. So what in the world's come over you? And what in heaven's name have I done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. I got a heart that burns like a fever, and I got a worried and a jealous mind. How can a love that'll last forever get left so far behind? So what in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have I done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. It's a mighty mean and a dreadful sorrow, and it's crossed the evil lines today. So how can you ask about tomorrow when we ain't even got one word to say? So what in the world's come over you? And what in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. Oh man, I can't believe John Prine's gone. So I'm gonna leave you with one last song. This is when I heard John Prine's newest album, this was the one that I just had to pull over to the side of the road and I just started like sobbing. It means so much to me. This song, actually, if you watch the music video, it legitimately took me a couple days to really like get in deep with what was going on with it. So John is somebody that, as a songwriter, you really had to sit with for a long time, and I feel like that makes him a really good best friend to have, because you can't just through one pass through get everything. And I think you come at it from different life experiences and different times, and it means different things. And this one, I think, means a totally different thing today than it did the first time that I heard it. So, whew, I think about John coming on home. So again, thanks to everybody at the Poorhouse. Can I point the right way? There we go. And everybody out there listening, I hope you guys are well. I hope you treasure the times with your families and every bit of free time you're getting right now. And again, I hope you guys continue to stay well. For those of you who aren't well, I hope you get better soon. And I'm going to leave you with Summer's End. Well, summer's end came round the bend, just flying. The swimming suits are on the line, just drying. I'll meet you there as per our conversation. I hope I didn't ruin your whole vacation. Well, you never know how far from home you'll until you watch the shadows cross the ceiling. Well, I don't know that I can see it snowing, and in your car the windows are wide open. So come on home, come on home. Now you don't have to be alone. Just come on home. Well, Valentines break hearts and minds at random. That old Easter egg ain't got a leg to stand on. I can see that you can win for trying. And New Year's Eve is bound to leave you crying. So come on home. So come on home. Now you don't have to be alone. Just come on home. Stars hang out in bars just talking. Well, I still love the picture of us walking. And just like that old house we thought was haunted, wanted. The summer's end came faster than we wanted. So come on home. So come on home. No, you don't have to be alone. Come on home. Just come on home. No, you don't have to be alone. Just come on home. Thanks everybody out there. Thanks everybody at the Poorhouse. Thanks Adam. And stay tuned. I think Chip Robinson is up next. So it's got a great night with a bunch of wonderful people. So stick around. Thanks everybody. I'm Billy. Bye.
That should do it. That should do it. All right. So take it from the top. You got it. Thanks, Adam.
All good now?
All good now.
All right.
Well, all right. Everybody here? Am I here? I'm on a different screen. I'm not getting anybody's message thing. So anyway, I just want to say, hey, real quick to my family and friends all the way from Canada to Mexico, from Maine to Mebane, from New York to New Orleans, from San Francisco to Surf City. Love y'all. Miss y'all. See you soon day. Hope everybody's spirits are up. Everything's good. A little lifestyle coffee, and here we go. Take two. It's good to think everybody's out there. Station's empty. The trains are all gone. I reached in my pocket. I waited for dawn. Well, the clock played the drums. And I hummed the sax. And the wind whistled down the railroad track. Well, it's 3 for a quarter, 1 for a dime. Well, I'll bet it's tomorrow by Rocky Mountain time. I walked in a restaurant for something to do. The waitress screamed at me. So did the food. Well, the water tastes funny when you're far from your home, but it's only the thirsty that hunger to roam. And it's 3 for a quarter, 1 for a dime. Well, I'll bet it's tomorrow by Rocky Mountain time. We'll build us a castle on Main Street and pretend that we're down on the farm. We'll hold out as long as we have to, and then twist off each other's arms. Christ, I'm so mixed up and lonely. Can't even make friends with my brain. I'm too young to be where I'm going, and I'm too young to go back again. Station's empty, the trains are all gone. I reached in my pocket. I waited for dawn, where the clock played the drums, and I hummed the sax, and the wind whistled down the railroad track. It's 3 for a quarter, 1 for a dime. Well, I'll bet it's tomorrow by Rocky Mountain time, by Rocky Mountain time, by Rocky Mountain time. Well, all right. Hope you enjoyed that one. But, you know, if you feel so inclined, sing along with me. I ain't got to hear it, so what the hell. Let me change guitars up here. How about a big hand for everybody that's already played, Billy Feather, and Craig, everybody, and it's great folks coming up, so stick around. Here's another one of them rocking songs. Coffee break. Cheers, everyone. Billy the bum, he lived by the thumb, sang of the hobo's delight. And he proved he could run twice as fast as the sun by losing his shadow at night. And I loved every girl in this curly-headed world, but no one will know it's blues. Had two twisted legs and a childhood disease left Billy just a bum in his dreams. But he was just a gentle boy, real fluorescent light. Cried pennies on Sunday mornings, laughed nickels on Saturday nights. Now your bullets, they can't harm me, or your knives tear him apart. Humiliation killed him. God bless his little heart. Well, he lived all alone in a rundown home by the side of the old railroad track. And the trains used to run, carrying freight by the ton. Blow the whistle as Billy waved back. But the kids all around Billy's hometown seemed to have nothing better to do than to run around his house with their tongues from their mouths, making fun of that crippled old fool. But he was just a gentle boy, a real fluorescent light. He cried pennies on Sunday mornings, laughed nickels on Saturday nights. Like bullets, they can't harm him, or your knives tear him apart. Humiliation killed him. God bless his little heart. Now some folks will wait, some folks will pray for Jesus to rise up again. I've none of them folks, nor our Holy Ghost, ever took Billy on as a friend. Now Billy's on crime, but he ain't worth a dime to a person who's really in need. You just treat them the same as you would your own name. The next time that your heart starts to bleed. And he was just a gentle boy, real fluorescent light. He cried pennies on Sunday morning, laughed nickels on Saturday nights. Now your bullets, they can't harm him, or your knives tear him apart. Humiliation killed him. God bless his little heart. Well, all right. Thanks again for coming out. I'd like to thank Adam and all the fine folks at the Poorhouse for putting this thing together. Sure, it's been pretty hectic the last couple of days, a holiday and all. Belated happy Easter, y'all. I'm gonna leave you with this one. Swap out guitars here. I hope you hear it. This is by request. It got so hot last night, I swear, we couldn't hardly breathe. And heat of lightning burnt the sky like alcohol. I sat on my porch without my shoes, and I watched the cars roll by as the headlights raced to the corner of the kitchen wall. But Mother dear, your boy is here, far across the sea, looking for that sacred core that burns inside of me. I feel a storm, all wet and warm, not 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home. My God, I cried, it's so hot inside, you could die in the living room. Take the fan out of the window, prop the door open with the broom. Well, the cuckoo clock has died of shock, and the windows feel no pain, and the air's as still as the throttle on a funeral train. Mother dear, your boy's here, far across the sea, looking for that sacred core that burns inside of me. And I feel a storm, all wet and warm, not 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home. Well, my father died on a porch outside on an August afternoon. And I sipped bourbon with a friend and I cried by the light of the moon. Well, it's hurry, hurry, step right up. It's just a matter of life or death. Well, the sun's going down and the moon's just holding its breath. But Mother dear, your boy is here, far across the sea, looking for that sacred core that burns inside of me. feel a storm. A wet and warm night, 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home. Approaching my Mexican home. Approaching my Mexican home. Well, kids, thanks for coming out and listening. Stick around. Things are about to get really good. My friend Lydia Lovis, I think's coming right up. BJ Barb's coming up. A lot of folks coming up. It's going to be a great evening. If I can get this bottle open, I think we'll do one in John's memory. So here's a John Prine. He's been a part of my life for a long, long time, and I'm an old guy. You know that's a fact. So to all my friends, all my family, you're John Prine. Peace now. See you.
Am I on? Cool. I'm Lydia Loveless. Thanks for having me. I'm sorry about the sunglasses. I just feel really awkward when I'm on live streaming, so I figured they'd be a nice touch. So you don't have to look at my eyeballs. But thanks very much for having me here. She was a level-headed dancer on the road to alcohol. And I was just a soldier on my way to Montreal. Well, she pressed her chest against me about the time the jukebox broke. Yeah, she gave me a peck on the back of the neck. And these are the words she spoke. Blow up your TV, throw away your paper, go to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try to find Jesus on your own. Well, I sat there at the table and I acted real naive. Oh, I knew that topless lady, she had something up her sleeve. Well, she danced around the bar and she did the hoochie coo. Yeah, she sang a song all night long, telling me what to do. Blow up your TV, throw away your paper, go to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, getting hungry and about to leave that place. When just as I was leaving, well, she looked me in the face. Said, you must know the answer. She said, no, but I'll give it a try. And to this very day, we've been living our way. Here is the reason why we blew up our TV, threw away our paper, went to the country, built us a home. Had a lot of children, fed them on peaches. They all found Jesus on their own. I assume you're going wild with applause. That's a good song. I feel like I need a shot of Fireball. I'm embarrassingly almost incapable of learning other people's lyrics without handwriting them, so don't mind me looking at these piles of papers right now. Sorry. That before I was a movie star, straight off of the phone, had a picture of another man's wife tattooed on my arm, with a pack of Camel cigarettes in the sleeve of my t-shirt. Headed out to Hollywood just to get my feelings hurt. That town will make you crazy. Just give it a little time. You'll be walking around in circles down in Hollywood and back. You'll be waiting on a phone call at the wrong end of the room. Yeah, that town will make you crazy, crazy as a bee. So I headed down to Nashville to become a country star. Every night you found me hanging at every honky-tonk bar. Pretty soon I met a woman, pretty soon it went wrong. Pretty soon my life got sadder than any country song. That town will make you crazy. Just give it a little time. You'll be walking around in circles, looking for a country rhyme. You'll be waiting on a phone call at the wrong end of the room. Yeah, that town will make you crazy, crazy as a moon. So I gathered up my savvy, bought myself a business suit, headed up to New York City, where a man can make some loot. I got high on Monday morning, downsized that afternoon, overcome with grief that evening. Now I'm crazy as a loon. I'm up here in the Northwoods, staring at the lake, wondering just exactly how much they think a man can take. I eat fish to pass the time away, with this blue Canadian blue. And this world has made me crazy, as you want. Thank you. I miss all you folks from near and far. This is all kind of sucky, but at least we live in the modern world where this stuff can happen. It's pretty crazy. And at least I'm still a 90-year-old man that writes things on piece of paper. All right, I got one more song. I want to thank all my friends at the poorhouse for inviting me to do this and waiting patiently for me to say yes to do it a day later. I think it's a really special event, so I feel lucky to be playing with all these fine folks. I just got one more. While digesting Reader's Digest in the back of a dirty bookstore, plastic flag, gum on the back, fell out on the floor. Well, I picked it up and I ran outside and slapped it on my window shield. And if I could see old Betsy Ross, I'd tell her how good I feel. But your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. We're already overcrowded from your dirty little war. Jesus don't like killing, no matter what the reason is for. And your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Well, I went to the bank this morning, and the cashier said to me, if you join the Christmas club, we'll give you 10 of them flags for free. Well, I didn't mess around a bit. I took him up on what he said, and I stuck them stickers all over my car and one on my wife's forehead. But your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. We're already overcrowded from your dirty little war. Jesus don't like killing, no matter what the reason is for. And your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Well, I got my window shields filled with flags I couldn't see. So I ran the car upside a curb and right into a tree. By the time they got a doctor down, I was already dead. And I'll never understand why the man standing at the pearly gate said that your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. We're already overcrowded from your dirty little war. Jesus don't like it, no matter what the reason is for. And your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Thanks, guys. I'm Lydia. John Howie's up next, I do believe. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I think I've got the mute off. I have some audio help in the other room. Let's see here. Whoa, let me do this to make sure everyone, you can hear me? All right, good. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here. I got kicked off of Noah's Ark, turned my cheek to unkind remarks. There was two everything, one of me. And when the rains came tumbling down, I held my breath and I stood my ground. And I watched that ship go sailing out to sea. Take it back, take it back. Oh no, you can't say that. All of my friends are now dead or in jail. Through rock and through stone, that black wind, it still moans. Sweet revenge without fail. Caught a nice seat on a plane, drove an English teacher half insane, picking up jokes about bicycle spokes and red balloons. So called up a local DJ, and he didn't have a lot to say, but the radio learned all my favorite tunes. Take it back, take it back. Oh no, you can't say that. All of my friends are now dead or in jail. Through rock and through stone, that black wind, it still moans. Sweet revenge without fail. Take it back, take it back. Oh no, can't say that. All of my friends are now dead or in jail. Through rock and through stone, that black wind is still moans. Sweet revenge without fail. Sweet revenge will prevail without fail. Thank you kindly. Thank you so much. I have a dog and a 13-year-old and neighbors that argue a lot. They yell at each other a lot. So I'm going to try to get through this without any of those variables coming in. This is a sad love song, and I love those. Another one off that sweet, there's my dog right there, you can hear him. Another one off that Sweet Revenge record called Blue Umbrella. Let me turn my phone off. One of the other artists is texting me and telling me I'm sounding good and I have a nice haircut, so thanks. Feelings are strange, especially when they come true. I had a feeling you'd be leaving soon, so I tried to rearrange all my emotions. It seems the same no matter what I do. Blue umbrella rests upon my shoulder. Hide the pain while the rain makes up my mind. But my feet are wet from thinking this thing over. It's been so long since I felt the warm sunshine. Just give me one good reason, and I promise I won't ask you
anymore. Just give me one extra season so I can figure out the other four. Hip, 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 hip. Daytime makes me wonder why you left me. Nighttime makes me wonder what I said. Next time are the words I'd like to plan on. But last time was the only thing you said. Blue umbrella rest upon my shoulder. Hide the rain while the rain makes up my mind. Hide the pain while the rain. Sorry. 2, 3, 4. My feet are wet from thinking this thing over. And it's been so long since I felt the warm sunshine. Just give me one good reason, and I promise I won't ask you anymore. Just give me one extra season so I can figure out the other four. I can figure out the other four. Sorry about stopping that. Did you get your snack? Or my son's getting some food out of the refrigerator. Did you get your snack? Okay. We're going to send this next number out. Can you say hi to these people real quick so they know I'm not lying? All right. Thank you. That's my son, Dario. He just turned 13. Anyway, this next number I want to, my last number, I'd like to send out to my uncle, whose name ironically was Sam, who fought in the Korean War, was sent to commit unspeakable acts of atrocity and witness unspeakable acts of atrocity in the Korean War. And he came back to an awesome career as the night watchman at the State Farm insurance building because he was incapable of functioning in society after what he'd been through in the war. We had to go get him when I was about 7. He was being thrown out of his tenement apartment. This is a Korean War veteran who was being rendered homeless. So I'll send this one out to him and my grandfather, who was also, he was blinded in World War II. He got a Purple Heart for that, but he didn't get his eyesight back. Thank you for having me. Thanks to Adam, Jessica, everyone at the Poorhouse. I hope you have a great night. Sam Stone came home to his wife and family after serving in the conflict overseas. In the time that he'd served, it had shattered all his nerves, and it left him a little shrapnel in his knee. Hey, but the morphine eased the pain, and the grass growing round his brain gave him all the confidence he lacked. With a purple heart and a monkey on his back, oh, where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pictures, happy years, but don't stop to count the years. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios. Sam Stone's Welcome Home didn't last too long. He went to work and he spent his last dime. Then Sammy took to stealing when he got that empty feeling, with $100 habit without overtime. Later gold rolled through his veins like 1,000 railroad trains. He got the comfort that he chose, while the kids ran around wearing other people's clothes. There's a hole in Daddy's arms where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pictures, happy years, but don't stop to count the years. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios. Sam Stone was all alone when he popped his last balloon, climbing walls and sitting in a chair. Though they played his last request, and the room felt just like death, with an overdose just a hovering in the air. Maybe life had lost all its fun, and there wasn't nothing to be done. They could trade the house they were kind enough to let him buy on the GI Bill for a flag-draped casket on a local hero's hill. Oh, there's a hole in Dad's arm where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pictures, happy years, but don't stop to count the years. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, remember the veterans, and remember how badly our government treats them. Have a great night.
Hello. How are y'all doing? My name is Kate, and welcome to my dining room. I want to thank the Poorhouse for putting this on tonight. I've been watching since the beginning and really enjoyed Van's cameo and Chip's video. But yeah, no, it's really cool that while everybody I know is struggling a lot, Poorhouse and a lot of other downtown institutions just keep giving, and I am glad that they found ways for us to gather and celebrate in this time. I know John Prine's songs have found their way into a lot of people's lives, and with that kind of unbeknownst to you sometimes. For me, the first duet I ever sang in a band was In Spite of Ourselves, and the first song I ever played with a dear friend and who became my bass player was Angel from Montgomery. And I've seen him play twice. And the first time I saw him was for a New Year's Eve show at the Grand Ole Opry. And it was with Casey Musgraves and Jason Eastbelt, and Casey had to come out on stage to interrupt him talking in order to do the countdown, which was really cute. I think about that a lot. And something he said was, "Shit, this year feels better already," which was, I think, the only thing I remember that he said. But it meant something. The first song I'm gonna sing is called "Some Humans Ain't Human," and I kind of wrote down a few things to say about every song, sort of. Just wrote down some notes, but this one, he put it out in 2005, and I just found a quote that he had said regarding the song, like why he wrote it, and so I'm just gonna read it. During Vietnam, when you saw people on the street, you knew which side they were on, but you don't know anymore. It just got to the point where if you weren't saying anything, then people were taking it that you supported him. So I thought, geez, if I get hit by a bus, I would sure like the world to know that I was not a Republican. So, without further ado, some humans ain't human. Some humans ain't human. Some people ain't kind. You open up their hearts, and here's what you'll find. A few frozen pizzas, some ice cubes with hair, a broken popsicle. You don't want to go there. Some humans ain't human, though they walk like we do. They live and they breathe, just to turn the old screw. They screw you when you're sleeping. They try to screw you blind. Some humans ain't human. Some people ain't kind. You might go to church and sit down in the pew. And those humans who ain't human could be sitting right next to you. They talk about your family, and they talk about your clothes, when they don't know their own ass from their own elbows. Jealousy and stupidity don't equal harmony. Jealousy and stupidity don't equal harmony. Have you ever noticed when you're feeling really good? There's always a pigeon that'll come shit on your head. Or you're feeling your freedom and the world's off your back. Some cowboy from Texas starts his own war in Iraq. Some humans ain't human. Some people ain't kind. They lie through their teeth with their head up there behind. You open up their hearts, and here's what you'll find. Some humans ain't human. Some people ain't kind. That one was called Some Humans Ain't Human. The next one I'm going to sing is from the 1999 In Spite of Ourselves album. And it's called Let's Invite Them Over. And I was listening to this music the other night with my quarantine buddies. Sorry, I just trying to project a little more. With my quarantine buddies, and Simon said, "Is this about swingers?" And I wasn't really listening to it. And then I listened again, and what I found was this very kind of caring couple being very honest with each other about what they need and figuring out what's best for them and what works. And it was in this very light and airy way. And it was really sweet. And then I listened again, and the reason I picked it is because I heard it through my quarantine ears, especially the line, "We're lonesome each night. Yes, we stay away for a while, but we know in the end we'll invite them over again." And I kind of just made it about that because I think a lot of us are missing inviting them. I'm going to do both the Iris DeMint part and the John Prine part. I know why you're lonely, and I know why you're blue. You're lonesome to see him, and you long to see her too. We're not in love with each other, we're in love with our best friends. So let's invite them over again. We've talked it over and over, and we know it's not right. We should stay away forever, but we're lonesome each night. Yes, we stay away for a while, but we know in the end we'll invite them over again. We've talked it over and over, and we know it's not right. We should stay away forever, but we're lonesome each night. Yes, we stay away for a while, but we know in the end we'll invite them over again. Yes, we stay away for a while, but we know in the end we'll invite them over again. That was Let's Invite Them Over. The last song that I'm going to sing is called That's How Every Empire Falls. And my sister shared this one with me. And every line is perfect. So I just have become kind of very intensely grateful for the song in 3 days. So, yeah. Thank you again for gathering and making this happen. Caught a train from Alexandria, just a broken man in flight, running scared with all his devils, saying prayers all through the night. But mercy can't find him, not in the shadows where he calls, forsaking all his better angels. That's how every empire falls. Bells ring out on Sunday morning like echoes from another time. And all our innocence and yearning, and sense of wonder left behind. Gentle hearts remember, what was that story is it lost? For when religion loses vision, that's how every empire falls. He toasts his wife and all his family, Providence he brought to bear. They raise their glasses in his honor, although this union they don't share. Man who lives among men, still a stranger to them all. For when the heart is never open, that's how every empire falls. Padlock the door and board the windows, put the people in the street. It's just my job, he says, I'm sorry, and draws a check, goes home to eat. But at night he tells his woman, I know I hide behind the laws. She says, you're only taking orders, that's how every empire falls. goes through the country, a hurricane falls on the sea. Terror comes without a warning, there must be something we don't see. Fire begets this fire, like torches thrown into straw. If no one asks, then no one answers. That's how every empire falls. Thank you very much. I hope you'll have a good rest of your night. And yeah, thanks for asking. Rest in peace, John.
Hey guys, BJ Barham here from the band American Aquarium. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We are honoring one of the all-time greatest songwriters in the history of songwriting. Still super heavy. It hasn't fully sunk in that John is no longer with us. I had the fortune of meeting John and being able to tell him what his songs meant to me a few years back. And they always tell you not to meet your heroes because you'll be let down. But John wasn't like that. He was one of the kindest, most humble human beings alive. And so I'm going to play a few songs tonight. Thanks to Adam. Thanks to the Poorhouse for putting this thing together. Yeah, what a loss to the songwriting community. When I was a child, my family would travel Western Kentucky, where my parents were born. There's a backwoods old town that's often remembered, so many times that my memories are worn. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Sometimes we'd travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down by Adria Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles was all we would kill. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel. They tortured the timber and they stripped all the land. Well, they dug for their coal till the land was forsaken. Then they wrote it all down as the progress of man. Oh, Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. When I die, let my ashes fly down the Green River. Let my soul roll up on the Rochester Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. Oh, Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. That's a tune called Paradise. That first self-titled John Prine record, like many people, still blows my mind. I always tell people that the side A of that record could be any other artist's greatest hits. Nobody wrote songs like that, especially out of the gate. He was in his early 20s, and side A of that record, that's Sam Stone, that's Angel from Montgomery, that's Hello in There. That's a heavy side A. He was special. One of my favorite stories that I've been hearing and reading is when he was a mailman up in Chicago. He would go to open mic nights, and I remember what it was like as a songwriter going to open mic nights, and you're bringing what you think is your A game, and it really is just falling short of anything that's even listenable to the bar patrons wherever you're at. He would come to open mic nights in Chicago and play Hello in There and Angel from Montgomery. That was his open mic night set. I try to put myself in the picture of the what it must have been like to have been sitting in the crowd, having a cocktail on your first date with some gal, and that is what's coming off the stage. Just epic pieces of the American songbook. And him not really realizing as an early 20-year-old, there's some ego there, but you don't come out of the gate that good. But that's a song called Paradise. One of my favorite tunes off of that self-titled record. I'm going to play another song off that self-titled record. This is the first John Prine song I ever heard. I was 20 years old. I was working at the Record Exchange on Hillsborough Street. So many kids got to grow up with the songs of John Prine. They are the lucky ones. I did not. I grew up on 90s radio country, and I didn't have the honor of being able to run around my house listening to John Prine song. The good thing I can say is that my daughter will not have that problem. We listen to John Prine on a daily basis around my house, whether it's cooking breakfast or playing and getting ready to read books for bedtime. We listen to John because he's just as kids like you can move to it. You know, kids don't know what he's saying, especially my 2-year-old. So my daughter will not have the same problem that I had growing up, but I didn't stumble upon John until I was in my 20s. And I was working at the Record Exchange on Hillsborough Street, RIP. And somebody brought in this self-titled record, and the guy behind the counter with me was like, "Hey, do you like John Prine?" I was like, "I don't really know John Prine." He's like, "You call yourself a songwriter and you don't know who John Prine is?" I'm like, "Yeah, put it on." And I just remember immediately buying the record. It was a used copy. And I still have that piece of vinyl in my living room right now, just because of how influential that record was for me as a songwriter. It's anybody who calls himself a songwriter, anybody who puts pen to paper and does not list John Prine as an influence is either lying to themselves or not really much of a songwriter at all, because that is 101. That's your intro to songwriting, is just John Prine. But anyway, this is another one of his tunes. The first tune I ever heard of John, and yeah. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown old. If dreams were lightning and thunder was desire, this old house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. He weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. But that was a long time, and no matter how I try, the years just flow by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Well, there's flies in the kitchen. I can hear them all buzzing. But I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. And just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. That's a tune called "Angel from Montgomery." That song is super special. One of the best lines: "How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say?" such a heavy line about sitting down with your spouse and talking to them and having this conversation of everybody wants to write songs about how happy it is to be married. This is a song about a lady who is just, life is not what it was supposed to be for her, and it's so heavy. It was one of the very, very first songs that I remember hearing, to where it was a male singing from a female point of view, and having to disassociate for a second and say, okay, this is a different but he's so good at telling stories that you completely fall into the character. You completely fall into the song. It doesn't matter if there's a male voice there. You're here with this woman, this middle-aged woman who is questioning every decision she made up until here. You're talking about a 35-year-old woman who feels like she's 70. You buy it. You completely get lost in that land that John created, and it's special. It's really special. I've got one more song. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight for this John Prine tribute. Thanks to the Poorhouse. Thanks to Adam. Thanks to everybody that played. The last one I'm gonna do for you, like I said, I got to play with John back in 2018, and I got to do a tribute for him at one of the shows we were playing on the Kayamo cruise, and we're sitting there, and it's legends to me. It's me, it's Rodney Crowell, it's Steve Earle, it's Emmylou Harris, and then there's John Prine, and he's sitting around, and John's deciding, like, well, I want to go first, and so he gets up on the microphone and he says, "Hey, I hear that this is a John Prine tribute. I like some of his songs, so I'm going to play a few John Prine songs for you." And then he just, with that kind of smile out of the corner of his mouth, and he played a couple songs, and then we had to follow it. We had to follow John Prine at a John Prine tribute. And so I got up there and I played Spanish Pipe Dream, and I was shaking the whole time. A song I played a million times. The band used to cover it, and we got up there and I played it, and I get done and I'm walking down, and he's standing at the bottom of the stage clapping, and he says, sounded great. And I told my wife, I was like, I don't need any other validation in the songwriting world ever than that man standing there watching me sing one of his songs and telling me that it sounded good. He could be lying through his teeth, but he was just such a great dude. And so I'm going to close it out. This is a song that hurts. It hurts so much, but it's so beautiful. It's got a line in it that I think is one of the greatest. Come on, baby, give me a kiss that'll last all week. This is a song that's very fitting. This is a tune called Long Monday. You and me, sitting in the back of my memory, like a honeybee, buzzing around a glass of sweet Chablis. Radio's on, wind is rolled up, and my mind's rolled down. Headlights shining like a silver moon rolling on the ground. We made love in every way love can be made. We made time look like time could never fade. Friday night, we both baked the guitar hum. Saturday made Sunday feel like it would never come. It's gonna be a long Monday, sitting all alone on a mountain by a river that has no end. It's gonna be a long Monday, stuck like the tick of a clock that's come unwound again. Soul to soul, heart to heart, and cheek to cheek. Come on, baby, give me a kiss that'll last all week. The thought of you leaving again brings me down, and the promise of Your sweet love brings me around. It's gonna be a long Monday, sitting all alone on a mountain by a river that has no end. It's gonna be a long Monday, stuck like the tick of a clock that's come unwound again and again. We're gonna miss you, John. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I think I'm done. I don't know if anybody else has anything to say, but thanks for everybody for tuning in. Once again, my name is BJ Barham. I'm in a band from right here in Raleigh called American Aquarium. Thank y'all for tuning in. Have a safe night. I hope everybody is staying healthy, and above all else, being good to each other. We're gonna get through this together, and kindness is gonna trump it all. Thank you so much.